Hello class, my name is Josh Williams. Today we're going to discuss POP3s and SMTP. So let's get started. So what is POP3? POP3 stands for the Post Office Protocol version 3. It is a application layer standard protocol that allows users to check mail globally. POP3 stores emails on the server that can only be accessed by specified users. POP3s is the protocol, but it stores emails with secure socket layer protection. POP3 and POP3s generally use ports 110 and 995 respectively. Installing POP3s is not as easy as it sounds. In order to establish this protocol, you must first set up and configure a mail server for your systems. Once the mail server is set and correlates with your current configuration on your server, you can then install the POP3s service. Once POP3s is installed and configured to the mail server, you can restart the mail server to apply the current configurations. Some other important considerations to observe when installing and configuring POP3s is to verify that the mail server is configured correctly and sending mail to your designated account. POP3s is not a way to send mail. Rather, it is a storage for incoming mail that can be pulled from. The server will save a copy with this protocol. That is why it is important to apply the encrypted version of POP3, POP3s, to encrypt the data at rest. Additionally, Postfix or Dovecot are mail servers that are commonly used with the command line interfaces, such as the ones we are using for our Ubuntu servers. Likewise, the Windows servers can be configured from the GUI interface, so it's easier to set up POP3s via Windows, and usually it is simpler to implement as well. So as discussed, POP3s is a protocol. It stores incoming emails on the mail server for authenticated users to access. You can protect this protocol in a few ways. First way is to ensure that you're using POP3s, because POP3s utilizes SSL to encrypt and authenticate the connection. You can also limit the number of connection attempts to your server to mitigate the risk of a denial of service attack. You do this when you are configuring your mail server. You don't want to be at risk of one of these attacks, so it's best to set a limit of number of connection attempts to your server when you first configure it. You can also limit the number of forwarding addresses to only the known range of users, so you can only allow a specific range of users to transfer emails back and forth, and the POP3s service will only store the ranges that it has specified. This will also eliminate the risk of a relay attack. But lastly, you can reject emails from well-known, preferably blacklisted, malicious IPs. This will lessen the risk of being a target of an attack from known and malicious attackers. So I suggest you configure these hardening practices when installing and configuring your mail server. So POP3s alone will not secure your emails from being breached. SMTP, or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is the protocol that allows the process of storage and forwarding for emails to operate So it's the actual operation of sending emails back and forth, opposed to POP3s being the actual storage of the email on the server. So for every email ever sent, it generally uses SMTP. This protocol usually communicates over port 25. So how does this work? So SMTP, it breaks down the message sent to the email service, breaks it down to a process code, and that is readable by the server. This server then forwards the email to the corresponding destination. Because SMTP generally works simultaneously with your computer's mail transfer agent. The mail transfer agent, or the MTA, is a piece of this process that transmits the data to the correct reciprocal MTA on the destination computer that you are sending the email to. So installing SMTP on Windows is a fairly straightforward process. First, you need to add the role in the Server Manager application. Second, you can assign or add your configuration relay and a external domain during the configuration process. Then you would establish a firewall rule in the Windows firewall application to allow inbound traffic from the specified SMTP port. 25 is the most well known. However, if you are looking to secure traffic with SSL, 995 is generally used alongside of SMTP and POP3. So once the service is installed and you get it set up with the firewall to allow the network, or to allow the protocol to send data through that port, SMTP is ready to be used. So lastly, how do we secure SMTP? The best practice to secure your SMTP connection, I've said it before, but the best practice is to require the use of SSL. For SMTP, this could pose the problem of non-SSL servers being able to reach your server or to send data to your server. So port diversification may be necessary if you're going to accept connections from SSL servers, or port 995 is a well-known SMTPS port that allows the necessary traffic while securing your server. Additionally, configuring a mail relay to avoid having an open relay attack on your server is a great way to mitigate risk. So in conclusion, POP3s and SMTP allow for emails to be securely stored and transmitted across networks. It is important to secure these ports and connections with SSL whenever possible. These both can be easily configured on both Windows and Linux servers and provide a simple way to deliver emails. Securing your server is important, so when implementing these services, please be mindful of the ports that you're opening, and don't open a port that accepts the insecure data. Additionally, continue to consider the lean is mean mentality when configuring these services, and only allow necessary parts of these tools needed for operation. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and please feel free to leave any additional feedback or hardening suggestions in the D2L section provided by Professor Green. Thank you.